This is the Legal Broadcast Network. I'm Scott Drake. My guest, once again, Los Angeles criminal defense attorney Michael Kraut with the Kraut Law Group. We're talking about the Michael Jackson case, which I think is taking a new turn, new twists and turns going on. Michael, welcome. Thanks for talking to us today.
Good afternoon.
All right. We know that it's been ruled as a homicide, but there haven't been any charges filed against Dr. Murray. What's going on?
Well, in terms of the filing of the charges, like we spoke last time, there needed to be a determination of a homicide by the coroners, and that's been done. So now everybody's waiting to see what the next level is. What apparently has just kind of surfaced through some internal sources is the target crimes unit of the district attorney's office had been handling the investigation with LAPD. They are now moving this investigation over to the major crimes unit of the district attorney's office. That's the group that handles Specter, O.J. Simpson, the high-profile cases. What apparently is happening is that the LAPD messed up this investigation in a drastic way.
Now, when you say messed up the investigation, are you talking about just at the crime scene or some other things?
Well, it begins at the crime scene where they apparently did not lock it down, and they allowed movers and other people to come in and take items out, which could include evidence. Regardless of whether it includes an item being removed, it's allowing an outside source onto the venue, and that is not allowed. And that's going to cause a great concern for the DA's office because they don't want the embarrassment of what happened during the O.J. trial. The second issue is they failed to interview key witnesses, including Michael Jackson's bodyguard, who was on the 911 call, indicating that they were trying to pump him back to life at that time for over 2 months. It took over 2 months for them to even set up an interview with him. Those are key points of, for the who, what, where, and when questions that need to be answered. And a fresh complaint or fresh testimony is what you need. They don't have that anymore. And that's going to cause a large problem.
And you're saying that in this particular case with the bodyguard, because there's time that has elapsed since the actual death happened, that things can change between the testimony then and now?
Whether or not it's not a malicious change, but I think that certainly there's going to be a change from being able to give a statement immediately that I saw Dr. Murray on his cell phone, he was talking here, he was standing here in the house, and this is what he was doing, to try and remember this after everything that's gone down, plus a funeral, plus dealing with family and press, and that's a big one, because no one wants a witness who's been dealing with the press. And now, the rags and such have gotten to this witness. He may not be a valuable witness anymore, but he still may have been a critical witness.
Does the fact that they've turned it over to the major crime division, does that indicate to you that there are going to be some pretty serious charges filed against Dr. Murray?
It doesn't matter that it's going to be serious or not serious. That's not the determination. It's going to be that it's going to be a celebrity case, it's going to be something of high notoriety, and it's going to need 1 or 2 prosecutors on it that have enough time in their schedule to devote endless hours to this case, versus the target crimes deputy district attorneys who handle numerous cases at the same time. The Murray case, if it's going to be filed, is going to be a single case dealt with.
Now, this sounds like a little bit of damage control. Are they trying to protect themselves and try to protect the integrity of the case here? Because it sounds like some, when this thing does end up, when and if it does go to trial, there's going to be lots of loopholes that the defense can use.
There absolutely is. And looking at the statistics of how often doctors are charged when there's a death, it's 0.05%. A recent study has shown it's going to be a hard case to win on a manslaughter charge. It's going to be fairly easy to win on the false prescriptions or the prescriptions under the false name. And I'm sure those charges will also be charged at the same time or before any homicide.
So what do you think now finally is the next step in this case?
If I were to guess, sometime in the next 2 weeks there'll be homicide charges and multiple counts of writing prescriptions under a false name. Possibly more than just Dr. Murray on that complaint.
And if you were defending Dr. Murray, though, these developments would kind of make you pretty happy, wouldn't it?
Well, any confusion would not necessarily make me happy. It would help me do my job. I think that Dr. Murray is going to need excellent litigation attorneys on his behalf. And the question is he going to be able to, number one, afford them, number two, find them, because it could be a mark on their reputation, and lastly, is there enough evidence to support his position?
Michael Kraut is a criminal defense attorney in Los Angeles. He is a former prosecutor and deputy district attorney. Michael, thanks for sharing your perspective once again.
Thank you.
And this is Scott Drake. You're watching the Legal Broadcast Network.